Most people will tell you that growing up too fast is a disadvantage, that it steals your childhood, makes you serious, distant, different. But what they don't tell you is this. Sometimes the very thing that made you feel out of place is the same thing that quietly made you stronger than most people around you. If you had to mature early, take responsibility before you were ready, or figure life out on your own while others were still carefree, then what you developed wasn't damage, it was depth. And today, we're going to talk about the hidden effect of growing up too fast, the 5 powerful traits you might have without even realizing it. Number 1, you became emotionally aware at a very young age. When you grow up in an environment where emotions aren't always stable, you learn to read the room quickly. You notice tone, energy, silence. Psychology shows that children in unpredictable environments often develop higher emotional intelligence as a survival mechanism. You didn't have the luxury to ignore feelings, so you became good at understanding them. Maybe you can tell when someone is upset, even if they say they're fine. Maybe you sense tension before anyone else notices. And while this may have felt overwhelming as a child, now it makes you deeply empathetic and incredibly perceptive. You don't just hear people, you understand them. Number 2, you became independent earlier than most. While others relied on guidance, you learned to rely on yourself. Research indicates that early responsibility often accelerates problem-solving skills and self-reliance. Maybe you had to make decisions alone, handle situations without help, figure things out when no one explained anything. And yes, it was hard. But today, you're the person who doesn't panic easily. You adapt, you think, you act. You don't wait for life to get easier. You've already learned how to handle it when it doesn't. Number 3, you struggle to fully relax, but you're always prepared. Let's be honest, even when things are calm, a part of you is still alert, still thinking, still anticipating. Psychology suggests that early exposure to stress can train the brain to stay in a semi-alert state, constantly scanning for what could go wrong. And while that can feel exhausting sometimes, it also means something powerful. You're rarely caught off guard. You think ahead. You plan better than most. You see problems before they happen. What feels like overthinking is often just advanced awareness. Number 4, you value deep connections over surface-level ones. When you grow up too fast, small talk starts to feel empty. You're not interested in shallow conversations. You want something real. Research shows that people who experienced early emotional challenges often crave authenticity in relationships. Maybe you find it hard to connect with everyone, but when you do connect, it's deep, honest, meaningful. You don't need 100 friends, you need a few real ones. And that's not a weakness, that's emotional clarity. Number 5, you carry a quiet strength that most people don't see. You don't always talk about what you've been through. You don't always explain why you are the way you are, but it's there, in the way you handle pressure, in the way you stay calm when things fall apart, in the way you keep going even when it's hard. Psychology often refers to this as resilience, the ability to adapt and grow through difficulty. And the truth is, you didn't just survive your early experiences, you learned from them, you grew through them, and now that strength shows up in everything you do. So if you've ever felt like you had to grow up too fast, like you missed out on being carefree, like you became too serious or too different, understand this. You didn't lose something, you developed something rare. Depth, awareness, strength, independence, the kind of traits that can't be taught, only lived. And maybe now it's not about wishing things were different. Maybe it's about finally seeing yourself clearly and recognizing what you've become because of it. If this made you feel understood, even a little, then stay here, because there's a lot more about your personality that deserves to be seen, not fixed. Subscribe for more insights like this.